The latest numbers from the Lewiston County Sheriff's Office show vehicle prowls have more than doubled since 2015. And when it's dark out like it is right now, some people might think the best way to cover their belongings is by just covering up their trunk and then closing it when leaving everything inside. But law enforcement says that's actually not the case. The flames have come all the way down from the top of the rock wall right now, just 20 or so feet away from the edge of the road. The flames are very loud, they're burning very hot, and fire crews are having trouble because of all the wind. And look what was dumped in the past few hours. Look at this red pickup truck outside of Colton High School. Just a ton of snow right now. Dumped about 3 to 4 inches. Chestnut Beach is closed again for the same reason it is almost every summer. There's fecal bacteria in the water, and right now levels are more than double the healthy amount. But that's not true this year. It is here at the Nez Perce County Fair, and we're about to show you what this ride is going to look like. About 105 feet in the air right now, reaching speeds up to 60 miles per hour. Armen Araradian here at the top of the Lewiston Hill for a massive fire that's broken out. And that's how close this fire is right now to these homes. More Nez Perce County fire officials arriving right now.
We're closing the whole northbound side going north to Moscow.
Okay, not south though?
Not at this time right now.
The backcountry medics respond when and where normal emergency crews cannot. From anything like whiteout conditions like this, to steep terrain like this slope where most crews do not have the tools or equipment to provide life-saving aid. The current boat ramp I'm standing on only goes around 73 feet or so away from the edge of the water. But the new projected ramp will go all the way out here to over 230 feet away. County commissioners say that's more than enough room to handle the needs for summer recreation. Parts of the Palouse River near Potlatch have flooded over from this weekend's rains, and that includes this stretch behind me. But let me actually show everyone what's just a little bit further down the road. This is actually Flanagan Creek Road. You know, this is actually the matchup of the 2015 championship games. LC won that game to start their first of 3 straight championships. St. Thomas, though, first in NAIA in runs scored and RBIs. Starting pitcher Orlando Brown, most wins in the NAIA. Every year around the 4th of July, the Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office steps up patrols on the Snake River, making sure
Fire extinguisher.
Boaters have the required equipment and are staying safe.
You know how long the boat is?
If we can prevent crashes, if we can prevent people getting hurt, injured, dying. And that's really what we're out here for, is to try to make sure everybody's recreating safely and get to enjoy the weekend.
Is that a life jacket?
Corporal Patrick Dupay looks for proper boating registration, fire extinguishers, and life jackets on board. He says those few things can help prevent an emergency.
People might get on the water 4 or 5 times a year or less, maybe once a year, and a lot of those rules kind of go unnoticed.
So what's your name, ma'am?
Corporal Dupay says while they aren't afraid to hand out citations for improper safety measures, their goal is to instead educate on the first busy day of the year.
People see us, they know that that they can't get away with anything that they want to do, and that we're going to be checking for the equipment and things like that.
Type 4 throwable, a square cushion or a round circle cushion to toss somebody.
And even though Operation Dry Water is only a 3-day enhanced enforcement, Dupay says expect to see the sheriff's boat on the water for weeks to come.
This is how we kind of kick it off. A lot of areas around us are the same way, with the water temperatures warming up and people starting to get on the water. This is a good weekend for us to get out and have a presence.
Around a week ago, 7-year-old Lewiston golfer Ashton Litterall's dream came true.
I think he did a lap around the living room. He was jumping up and down and running around the house.
It's because his idol, Clarkson native and PGA Tour golfer Joel Damon, said he was coming to the Valley for a game.
Pretty awesome because I just flew over here just to come over here and play with me.
Like a pro. Hey. No, high five.
Joel and Ashton teamed up to play Gino Benally, Joel's caddy, and Nate Martin.
He was just like one of the guys, they were joking around, playing.
Oh. That's a good try, buddy.
Ashton says he was nervous because it was his first time playing with a pro, but that quickly turned into smiles and talking about close to everything.
So if you're not going to root for the Seahawks this year, who are you going to root for? Jacksonville Jaguars. All right.
At such a young age, Joel Damon took notice of Ashton's skills.
7 years old, not many people can swing a club, let alone make contact.
There was one swing that really turned his head.
I had a kid. We were on the 4th hole out here today, and he hit a 144-yard driver to 10 feet. So it just doesn't happen very often. Definitely a special talent with very, very bright future ahead.
Before Joel left, he gave Ashton a special gift, an autographed bucket hat, the same one he wears every time he's on tour.
So when it's sunny out, he literally wears these kind of hats, and then when I see him on TV wearing one of these, then he told me that I have to put it on.
Ashton says every time Joel's on TV, he'll be wearing the bucket hat.
Kid, what do we do? Tweet, 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 tweet.
Armen Araradian,
Nice. Smoked it.
KLEW News. 11 years ago, Justin Hamilton opened fire at the Latah County Courthouse, killing a police officer and 2 civilians. Whitman County Sheriff Brett Myers says situations exactly like that one are why they stay prepared.
Courthouses are hot spots. We figured what we'd do is try and bring the training right here to our courthouse.
It's to give courthouse employees a chance to see what these situations might look like. But Sheriff Myers knows active shooters are hard to predict.
Situations like this, really hard to prepare for. No one's ever prepared for this. This isn't something that you can see once or twice and think, okay, now I know what I'm doing.
This is one of the simulations they held Thursday. The scenario, family members aren't happy with the judge's verdict for the killer.
He killed my cousin. He deserves to die, just as my cousin did. He killed my cousin. Gun!
It doesn't just involve a bad guy and some cops. It literally affects employees and almost every discipline you can think of in the emergency response field.
That's just another reason why Sheriff Myers says courthouse employees need to know how to respond.
Just educate employees on what it might look like, what their responses could be, and what our response might look like as well.
And if they come face to face with an active shooter?
Basically to hide, to run, or to engage that person.
Armen Araradian,
Don't move. Stay on the ground.
KLEW News.